Okay,
Morning.
I think we're in. Can you all hear us? Hear me? I'm going to apologize right off the bat. They say never do this at the beginning. 2 seconds ago, my whole internet went down and I get this message that says, make sure you're connected to a stable internet. And it's like, oh my God, don't do this to me now. So I will try to compose myself. And for those of you that here when it came on, so I'll just give you a little heads up. This meeting is being recorded, as are all our Uncon meetings, to be posted, this one on YouTube, for people who are not able to see it now, or if you want to go back and view it at a later time. But if you prefer not to be seen, you don't want people to see your lovely face or your lovely name, block your camera out and you'll be able to hear us. Just turn your camera off and you'll be able to hear us, but the public won't necessarily see you out there. So the call is yours if you want to be on camera or not. I also want to remind you, if you could just mute yourself while we're going through the presentation, and both Bill and I and my husband Bill will be on with me later to talk, but we're both more than happy to take questions at any point. So just unmute yourself when you want to ask a question, throw it out, and we'll be happy to address it. So we, believe it or not, we have actually choreographed this. So we're going to see after 51 years of marriage if we can work together. I have my doubts, but we're going to try. So my job is to kick it off, turn it over to him, and then come back. So I want to welcome you, first of all, on behalf of I.O.L.I and Uncon 2.0 to my trunk show, Belisle Online Treasures. Along with my husband, Bill, we started this a couple of years ago, and it's a direct result of I.O.L.I, and you will hear more about that later. I want to talk just a brief review about Zoom to make sure I've covered all the bases here. So I told you you're being recorded. And again, if you're just coming on and you missed it and you don't want to be seen, shut off your camera. If we have an internet issue, which I may be the one that causes it, we'll make do. I'll post something on YouTube that says when the makeup is, and on our website. But in the interim, and this morning, somebody had chatted that in one of the calls, the table talk, that if we all have our cameras on, it drags down the bandwidth for people that don't have very good bandwidth. So again, that might be another reason for you to turn off your camera. If you are new to Zoom and you haven't used it, I'm going to do what I can on my end to make you see us better. So for instance, right now you should be seeing a grid. And if I spotlight myself, you should see me large, everybody else small. If that doesn't work on your end, so we ended up, my camera ended up, oh, somebody's sharing their screen. So we don't want that to happen, but until we get ready to share. But if you can't see us as we're talking, then if you go up and on either one of our pictures, up in the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 little green dots. If you click on that, it will give you an option to pin us, and that will make us bigger than I want to see myself, trust me. And like I said, after our presentation, we will be doing a Q&A, and any place along the way, we're happy to answer questions. To use the chat room to post questions. I've already put a live link over in the chat room to our website, which obviously has disappeared since I will put it in there. Bill starts talking. When I got kicked out of my own call, it disappeared. So I will take care of that. And then of course, the last thing here is to adjust your volume, whether we're too loud or too soft. I've never been accused of being too soft, but I might be blaring you out. So make sure your volume is comfortable for you. So I will unpin myself and I will put the spotlight on Bill. and turn it over to him for a few minutes to talk to you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Bill Belisle. I thought to start with, I'd briefly review what's in store for you today in our Trump show for Belisle Online Treasures. When Belinda comes on in her portion, she'll start off by telling you a little bit about herself, discuss her lace making activities, and also the bob and wire lace making in particular. Then she'll go into her jewelry, wire bob and lace jewelry, the classes that she offers, her jewelry kits, and the items that she has on our website. Then we'll switch back to me. I'll follow up with the items that I specialize in, tell you a little bit more about myself if you don't know me. But the things that I look at in particular and the things I have on the website are things with estate jewelry or art, antiques. I've got pieces related to lace making or sewing, items like bobbin holders, magnetic pin dishes, and bowls and thimbles. Then Belinda will come back again and she'll give you a brief tour about how to navigate the website. And we'll have a Q&A at the end. So remember, there is a direct link to the website so that you can get in the chat room. Here is something important to note. Belisle Online Treasures is going to run Uncon special discounts on the website, and the discounts will be different each day. So remember to check back each day to see what that day's promotion is. Everybody likes sales, right? So, okay, are you ready? Please feel free to ask questions at any time. We're happy to talk about what we do and what we have to offer. And unless there are any general questions, Belinda's going to take it away.
Okay, I'm back. And my next item is to introduce myself, but I'm looking at the list of all of you, and I'll be darned, I know every single one of you. So I should probably have you introduce me. But for those of you that maybe have forgotten who I am Belinda Belisle. I know you, I've either been in a lace making class with you as I'm off down here and seeing who I know, or you know me from I.O.L.I, or maybe Winter Lace, which I chair, or maybe I'm looking here and a lot of you have taken my online jewelry classes. So welcome. I'm glad you're spending some time with us today. I want to just show you a couple of things from our website, some slides that I pulled together up close, and talk to you a little bit about my jewelry and how it came about. So, and then encourage you that you can make your own. This is really an easy project, and I want to share with you some of my students' work. So to show you that you don't have to have a jewelry background. You actually do not even have to have a bobbin lace background. I've been teaching online classes since a year ago, March, and I've been averaging roughly 2 days a week teaching for practically every week until I just got immersed this last month in Uncon and haven't had a chance even to figure out who I am for the last few days. But I have been teaching classes for people that don't even know what bobbin lace is, and they're able to make these beautiful, beautiful pieces, and very proud of what they've done. I started making my bobbin lace wire jewelry out of necessity. I have loved, I'm a bobbin lace maker for about 30 years. And probably when I first saw wire lace, it just said something to my heart. And I decided I'm going to do this. So I've signed up for all the classes. Anybody that taught wire, you name them, I am one of their students. And I love them all. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about any of them. I made beautiful pieces with them. And not as nice as theirs, but for me, very nice. And all of a sudden I hit upon Kim's class. And some of you know Kim Davis, who is an exquisite wire artist. And she has this gorgeous snowflake pendant that she has you make in class with the Swarovski crystals around the edge. And it is to die for. If you get a chance to take her class, I highly recommend it. I took it at I.O.L.I. one whole week. I worked on this project and I got ready to go to the banquet on Friday night. And I was in my hotel room and I put it on and I looked at myself and thought, boy, are you hot. You look really good. This jewelry is just wonderful. And between my hotel room and the banquet hall, something happened to my jewelry because when I got down there and I looked at it, this beautiful snowflake was no longer a beautiful snowflake. It was crunched up and folded over. And I stood there at the door and literally wanted to cry. So I quickly spread it out and said, maybe nobody will notice. Well, the voice I heard in my head, we have those little voices, was my mother saying to me, because this is what I grew up hearing, you're like a bull in a china closet. And that's true, because all my other friends, when I grew up, they'd get dressed in frilly little dresses and they'd look good for, the birthday party. And Belinda looked like she rolled on the floor. So I kept hearing my mother say this and I thought, I'll be darned. There's got to be a way to make this piece work on this bull. And what I realized was Kim and Lauren and Jose, they were using 30, 32, 34 gauge wire, which is really about a hair. And quite frankly, it's harder even to work with than the thicker wire because it wants to break. I had, like I said earlier, I'd been making jewelry for years. And I thought, why can't I take my jewelry and skills and my wire lace skills and merge them together? So that, in a nutshell, is a fairly long story about how these pieces came together. So I want to share with you some pieces. And again, I want to encourage you to stop and ask questions or make a comment if you want. So what you're looking at here are two of my original pieces. So this one on the left was actually the first piece I made. Let me back up. Those of you that have had my class are going to come in and say, no, she's not telling you the truth. This is the first piece I made that I wanted to show anybody. So all of my pieces that I make, I can honestly say, I probably make 50 pieces before I'm happy with a piece and have a technique then that I can help you create what I think you'll be happy with. So I probably made 49 other pieces and then came up with this, but I called this piece my original piece. And this came shortly after it. And the difference in the techniques here, well, maybe that's not correct. The technique is the same. You notice just a torsion brown going on in here. This is made with 26 gauge wire. And then we just have an 18 or a 16 gauge, depending on the particular project, used as the frame. And unless you make a point of really, really trying to bend these out of shape, they will not bend. So they will work on me. I am tried and tested them. In fact, I'm wearing one today. So this is where we started. And then because I made them for myself. I should tell you how I got started selling them. I never, ever thought I was going to sell or teach because I just wanted to make them for myself. And I made them in Philadelphia. I had 4 or 5 different ones and wore them to class each day. And a lady that all of you know, but I'm not sure she wants me to name her, sat next to me in class and she kept saying, I want to buy one of those. I want to buy one of those. And I kept saying to her, they're not for sale. They're not for sale. Well, she was persistent enough that by Friday, I said, I'm leaving here and going on vacation. But when I get home, if you can wait till after the holidays, I will make you one and I will give it to you as a gift. And sure enough, after the holidays, I sit down, I made it, I sent it to her with a note that said, I hope you enjoyed this and it's my gift. And then I got the strangest email back from her. the email said, I will wear it when I want to be ostentatious. And I thought, is that a compliment or is that an insult? Well, I chose to think it was a compliment. And a couple of weeks later, I got a very, very nice formal letter, thank you. And in it was a very generous check. And I decided to send her a check back with a note that said, I told you it was a gift. I don't intend to be paid. And she came back and said, I'm not accepting it if you don't take my check. So then that was like opening the floodgates, because a number of you started saying to me, I want to purchase it. So I don't want to have the same one. So all of my pieces are original. Those were the 2 original pieces, which then morphed to a couple of different ones, which then I moved from this basic shape to a spin-off. So over here, you've got the heart that you saw before. And then I started having requests for earrings. And the earrings have been my absolute #1 bestseller. And today, Sunday, on our website, they're on sale, the earrings. They won't be on sale tomorrow. They're our daily special for today. And I think I have probably sold about 200 earrings, pairs of earrings in the last couple of years. They just are really a big seller. I get requests for kits all the time for the earrings. Right now, I have to say to you, I don't have a kit for the earrings. I will in a couple of months, but right now, I just haven't had time to pull it together. Likewise, the bracelet. And I have been invited, as I was invited to teach this year at Mesa, and then we had to postpone it. They've asked me to come back next year in 2022, when we will be in Mesa and we will be live together. And I will have kits for both the bracelet and the earrings, and make them available to you as a class project if you want to do that in class, if you take my class. So that's just a little different look, as is these 2, or as are these 2. On the left is my butterfly, which is actually, I have people contacting me and wanting, can you make it in this color, or can you make it in this wire? And on the right is what I call my prize winning piece. This piece I entered in the Orange County Fair last year, which was a virtual fair. And I was honored to be first place winner in the jewelry category in the fair. And they had a popular vote, and I ended up with over almost 5,000 votes, over 4,600 votes for my piece. The next highest vote on jewelry was less than 1,000. So there was a lot of interest in this piece, as is there when I teach class. This is the most popular piece I've taught. And I teach it in all metals. And I have a couple that I'll show you that I was gifted by students that I'll show you when I get over to my other camera. So that is one of my really popular pieces. Like I said, I sell the kits. And if you had a chance to get over to see our YouTube video, there's a brief little segment in there on the steps to make this, but I have people that have taken the class. I think Sylvie Nguyen is one of them, and has made like 50 of her own afterwards. So once you have the technique down, they're really easy to reproduce. And our kits, this is just a picture of one of the first kits, and I'll show you one if you want alive and personal. But they're illustrated, show up close pictures, both with the camera and with line drawings, and the pricking's included and all the wire. And the only tricky part here is navigating the website and making the correct choice of what you want on the website. I started doing classes. Like I said, I never wanted to teach, but I started getting requests, oh, can't you teach us And then when COVID hit, I thought, what else am I doing? I might as well teach sitting here. So I have had the privilege of working with a couple of the guilds before COVID hit. So this was the Hedgehog Lace Day, and a couple of my students making their pieces. And Mariella is sitting here in the center, and I don't know if you can see up close, but in 2 days, she finished this heart and is nearly finished with this one. And then my students that when they're done, I encourage them to send me pictures of their beautiful work. And these are some of my students' work. So everybody has a different taste in jewelry. This particular person didn't want any of the glitz, no crystals, no pearls. So she made it her own. And then here's 3 others. And they, as you can see, these 2 over here are the same piece, but just the lace maker interpreted it her way, placed her pearls where she wanted. And I thought I saw Kaja on here earlier, but the way I've got it set up, I can't see who you are. And this was her piece, I believe, and that to me is just exquisite. So that basically, those are our slides that I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to take you over just quickly to my live camera and show you up close and personal some of the pieces, and then I'll turn it back over to Bill. So what you're looking at here on the screen, these are just, again, some samples that are in our inventory. This was close to, but not exactly the same as the original piece. And all of our pieces come on either a chain or a cord. And it will say,
Probably need to speak up a little, honey.
I'm sorry, I'm looking away from my laptop, so I'll make sure I talk to you this way. So all of our pieces come on either a chain, and we go with a 24-inch chain because that seems to be good for most people, or a cord. And this is that particular design. Here's the, what I'm calling swirls and pearls. And this was the first one I made. Here's one where we're using a diagonal half stitch instead of the torchon ground. So I think the message that I want to convey to you here is you can do any type of a frame. You can do any type of a ground. These are just designs that I've come up with. So this one is this black, I've sold a couple of the black pieces, and this is a really popular piece. This looks so beautiful when it's on. And then I will just move these out of the way and show you the bracelets and the pits, and then I'll turn it back over to Jeff. So there's basically 3 different bracelets. So there's this one for those who like just a plain look. This one with the crystals. And then for people who would prefer just more of a bangle. And these are all projects that I'm going to be working on, or having you work on in the next conference that we do in Mesa. The kits, I'm just not going to take you through every page, but I wanted to show you just the example. This is the kit for the pearls and swirls pendant, and just to show you the clarity of the drawing, and it comes with the clipping, comes with the wire. And the way I have it set up, you can't really see too much, but I want to show you they're nice big diagrams and easy to follow. So do you have any questions of me for the wire jewelry or anything that I can share with you before I turn it over to Bill?
Are you going to show us any earrings, please?
I sold the only ones I had in my inventory. So the ones, if you order any today, it will be, which wouldn't have, it didn't matter even if I had in the inventory. I won't be filling orders until after Uncon. So I'm kind of glued to my computer, but I will have them, if you order any during this week, I will have them in the mail to you first part of next week. So you know what I'm going to be doing every evening is making the earrings.
Linda, is there a code we have to put in our order to get the special discount?
No, it should, okay, I've got my fingers crossed. Because who knows what the website does. The website, I set it up to do a discount each day. And that's today's discount. So if you order today, it should give you an automatic discount. If it doesn't, email me and we'll take care of it. So I'm praying, and it won't, the way the website is, and I'm not using this as an excuse, but it won't let me do it unless I actually purchase something, which then is a nightmare getting the refund. So whoever does it first will be my guinea pig. And if it doesn't work for you, let me know and I'll take care of it and make it work. Other questions or comments?
I have another question, please.
Hmm?
Are the actual measurements of the pieces on the website?
Yes, they are.
Thank you. That's
Yes,
what I
they are. Mhm. And it will also list the metal that it's in, whether it's and I have them ranging from copper, which are the least expensive, to sterling silver. I don't think I have any gold filled on the website. I think that my last gold filled piece sold. But if you have if you see a piece that you would like something like that in gold filled, email me and I'll let you know the cost and the feasibility of doing that. But there's jeweler's brass and bronze, and the bronze looks pretty much like gold, unless you just are allergic to the other metals. Other questions?
Somebody was asking if the kit comes with a chain. And
It does. It does. The kit is complete. Has everything you need in there except your bobbins and your pillow, but it has the pricking, which is already covered. It has the wire and the instructions. Let me talk a little bit when I said except your bobbins. You do not need special wire bobbins to make this. You can use just about anything. If you have them, that's good. But when I'm teaching with people that don't make bobbin lace, we're using large paper clips. And we've also used clothespins, and alligator clips. I called them a roach clip, and I was rudely corrected that I shouldn't know what a roach clip is. So, and I
No,
don't.
you
So-
don't.
But if you don't have the wire lace bobbins, email me if you decide to purchase a kit, and I can walk you through how to use the paper clips in place of them. Likewise, if you purchase a kit and you get stuck, I'm only a Zoom call away. So if you're in the middle of it, or you say, gosh, Belinda, your instructions just do not make sense at all, let me know. We can set up a Zoom call together and I can walk you through it. My intent is not to say, oh, you bought the kit, now you're on your own. Same thing when you take a class. I have had students that, for whatever reason in their life, can't complete it. The classes are generally 2 days back to back, 2 hours each day with homework in between, and life gets in the way and they haven't been able to complete the project. That's okay. We schedule a third session or a fourth session or whatever, and there's no additional charge for that once you've taken the class. Other questions? Okay, so I'm going to turn it back to Bill.
Alrighty. So can y'all hear me okay? I guess most people are muted. Okay, I'm here again. Again, I'm Bill, the other half. Some of you folks may know a little bit about me already. I've been antiquing for more than 4 decades. Actually, it's like 5. You name it, going to estate sales, auctions, antique fairs, garage sales, all over the country, other parts of the world. There were a couple years back where I was doing 50 auctions in a year. So my real passion is collecting fine antiques and jewelry and art, and even collectibles, all kinds of things. After a while, as my various collections grew, I started selling at antique malls. And then of course, Vending went online, and here we are today. One of the things I found was that knowledge is power. So along the way, I earned several certificates in appraising, art appraising. I've got a certificate in textile appraising. Even a few years ago, I got a BA in art history, because if you're teaching art and collecting art, you got to know this stuff. So the more you know, the better. So I guess it helps to have the formal knowledge as well as just the stuff that you learn along the way. I have exhibited at I.O.L.I for a few years and Winter Lace Conference since it started. So some of you may have even already bought items from me. I do try to purchase quality items at what I hope are bargain prices. And in that way, I can sell them to you at better than normal prices. So, and of course, we have discounts going every once in a while, all sorts of things. For our website at this I.O.L.I conference, this UNCON 2021, I've tried to put some items on the website that might be useful in some of the lace making, some of the hobby kinds of things. But I've also got some treasures that you just might like to have. So everybody likes to possess certain things. So I guess probably the easiest thing to do is to take a look at some of the pieces on the website. If you do have questions for me, just sing out at any time. So I'm going to share the screen and put up our website. And hopefully you can see me. All right. Assuming you can all see me, what we've got is when you click on our website, this is the first thing that will pop up. We have noticed that some of the not servers, but the programs that you access things with, like Google is really good, but there's a couple of things, you might have a trouble with Safari. I don't know, it seems like Google seems to work best, but I've noticed even on our I.O.L.I website, you may have trouble actually getting to our website here. But as you get in the website and scroll down, you'll get a little bit of information and basically a welcome, but also we've got a little bit of information about shipping. And I'll talk a little bit about shipping later on because I've had to do a few little things. We've got some heavy and some large things, and sometimes it's hard to adjust it within the website that we've got here. So as you scroll down, you'll get into various categories. So you'll find wire, bob, and lace kits, registering for classes, estate jewelry, going down all the way through pin dishes, bobbin holders. If you just click on estate jewelry, it will automatically scroll down to that spot. So here we've got, I'm going to move that over. I'm hoping that you're not, I don't know whether these things are blocking your view or not. Whoops, wrong place. Let me go back here. Oops. Okay, this is the one I want. Okay, so particular items. Some items I've had on sale because I just wanted to give a good price, like these Native American earrings over here. Here's an example of some earrings. These are vintage sterling cross earrings. And when you first look at it on the website, you get kind of a snapshot. So you've got a picture, an image, a little start of the description and the price. So at that point, you can decide, well, is this really what I want to look at? But if you click on that item, you're going to get a larger image. If there's a detail view, for example, in this one, I've got a close-up shot that shows the hallmark. And as you scroll down in that pop-up, it gives you an item description of what it is, how it's made, what's made, who the maker is, the measurements, what the condition is. I might not have everything in there. For example, these earrings were my mother's. She passed away a couple of years ago. And you've got all this really nice jewelry, but someone should get to use it and appreciate it. So if you're interested in an item, then you click on the order and it just adds it into the basket. Another one just for fun. Okay, this is actually another one that my mother had, but we've got a solitaire diamond pendant in a 14 karat white gold setting. So it's a 0.22 carats, not huge, but it's a nice little diamond, really, really clean, perfect gift for, the chain is a little small. I don't know, my mother had I can't believe her neck was that small. She was only 5 foot tall, but it has a 14-inch chain that comes with it. It is hallmarked. I have an appraisal that came along with it originally. It was appraised in 1983 for $450. So I've actually, the price is actually, it should be a lot higher, but I've marked it down to something, almost what it was, 30 years ago or something. So, it's on sale. Okay, a brooch perhaps. Here we're looking at a vintage pearl and 12 karat gold filled. Now it looks like gold. How do I know it isn't? Well, when you look at the hallmark, it is marked 120 12 karat. So that means it's gold filled. It's not plated. It's actually a sheet of thin gold that's added on top. That's pressed together rather than just plating where you electrically by electrolysis plate another metal on top. This one's in pretty good shape. It's got a safety catch. It's hallmarked with the signature for Harry S. Pickens Sons. They came out of New York. It was founded in 1947. It's a really nice little piece. Maybe you're looking for something for the other half. So here's a vintage Taxco Mexico tie bar. It's the skeleton kind of fish in great condition. I doubt if it had been used, but it's really cute. It's got a little alligator clip on the back, and the hallmarks are here actually on the back of the head, and it's got the hallmark for the maker. It's marked 0.825 Taxco, so it's sterling. It's also got the Mexican, a very well-defined sterling eagle assay mark, which is for Taxco, and it shows that this piece was made from 1948 to 1970. So it's like 50 years old or more. So pretty reasonable, I think, for that one. One more maybe in the jewelry. I've sold quite a few cameo brooches. This one's interesting because it is really good, very clean, nice condition. I can tell by the shape of the nose that this is antique from the early 1900s. Certainly made in Italy because of the quality. All of these are typically a profile image. This one's kind of nice because it actually has a headband and a necklace and earrings that are carved into it. And again, I've got a detailed view of the back. Now, I've added a chain to it that matches a kind of a chain relief, right, that goes around the bezel here. So it matches that. But the bail swings down. So you can wear it as a brooch or put the chain on it and wear it as a necklace. Okay, other kinds of items, bobbin holders. Unfortunately, I only have a few left. I had hundreds, but they're almost all gone. With these, you've got a choice of what kind of woods. These were made by a local woodworking craftsman. His name's Bruce Llewellyn. Some of you may know and remember the name of Karen Llewellyn, very good friend of Belinda, who has since passed away. He's still around, still does woodworking, but he made these from exotic woods. We got bloodwood from Australia, Baltic birch from Russia. And what you do is you look at it and you decide which one do you want. Now here you've got some selections. Just like Belinda, if you're looking at when you want to go to her classes. So you need to select which one do you want. Do you want a mahogany and Baltic birch or maple, or do you want the holly and bloodwood? So you pick which one you want, and then you select it and add it to your order. Pin bowls and pin dishes. Sold a fair number of these at I.O.L.I and at Winter Lace. These are really cute. The magnetic pin bowls and pin dishes, it looks like it's a regular bowl, but again, Bruce made these, and hidden inside is a magnet. So when you drop your pins, or even if it's a desk item, if you drop an iron or a steel paperclip, anything that's of iron, it's ferrite, it's going to stick to this thing. So you've got different choices of color of wood, of the striping, a wide or a narrow stripe. Again, you come down to selections and you pick which one you want. And when you do, the appropriate price comes up, and I think they're all priced the same. So these are cute items. I like these personally as the other half of the lace making people, because I have saved my toes, because
Hey.
when those dishes of pins go over, invariably I will find one with my little pinky, and this saves my toe. The last category that I've got here is just miscellaneous, some art antiques, and I just started putting these up a couple days ago. We've got things that if you like to sew, you know, some beautiful, and these are ones that I haven't even had at I.O.L.I or at Winter Lace. But here's an Edwardian 0.800, you know, silver. So it's European. How do I know it's 800s and not sterling or not fake? Because right here in the inset, you'll see there is a very tiny punch of 800 that shows that it is sterling, or not sterling, it is silver. So it's a European mark, continental Europe, really good condition. It's got a 1/10 of ounce of silver, so you know it's got silver content as well, and it's got a nice design. If you're looking for something a little more exotic in the thimble area, no one has seen this one. I have had it for years. I've been wondering whether Belinda would want it, or you know, she's got a couple of them, I think, now at this point. But this is a Victorian solid gold 14-karat thimble by Simon's Brothers. It's a yellow gold. It's made with a series of 12 panels that go around the crown, the lower part of the thimble. A blank panel followed by another panel that's been hand engraved. Two of the blank panels actually have some additional markings. This one has a number 8 for a size 8. And one down here has somebody added later on in 1922, because there's a 22 added for 1922, probably as a gift for someone. How do I know what this is? And this is definitely authentic, because when you look at the detail down in the cap, inside the cap of the thimble is the hallmark for Simon's, and right below it, it's marked 14-karat gold. Sometimes when you go online, someone will say they've tested it or it's unmarked and they know what it is. Well, you know, this one is the real deal. And this one actually is found in several of the thimble collecting books. Couple of other items, lace making. How about, now this is a crossover piece. It crosses over into collecting in the postal category. It's a first day cover from 1987. So let me see, 1980. That's what, 40 some odd years, 30 some odd years ago, for this particular lace making applique technique. The envelope itself has a lace making stamp. Back when stamps were only 22 cents. It's got the stamp. It is canceled in Michigan, which is where this was issued. I like this one. There's a couple different types out here. Some of them just have a stamp, or you know, something else in there. This one actually has a thin slice with a replica in gold plated of the stamp. And then it's got a full description by the Postal Commemorative Society. I have framed it. It's got a plexiglass pane. There's the size. Here's the unusual thing about this when it comes to shipping. I mentioned shipping and I've, we're trying to do this as simple and make it, as cheap for you as we can. So a lot of items just have a $5 shipping cost, but shipping something like this, I put this in its box with its contents, brought it to the post office, weighed it out. Well, okay, it's only $14.95 for the item, but I had to add $19 on it just for shipping. Call me if you live in Orange County. Maybe we could work out a deal, but otherwise, Belinda says, yeah, it's getting kind of complicated here. So obviously the price as it ends up is about what they sell for when they're framed online. So it's about what most people would have. It's nicely framed. There are two of these. There's another one here for lace making that is for Bucks Point. Same kind of thing. Looking at my time here, looking pretty good. Okay. You want to have that cup of tea while you're lace making? Well, don't just stick a tea bag in a cup. How about an antique Russian silver tea strainer? So you get your tea and you've got all your rough, loose tea, and you put it in there and you pour your water in. This one is unique in a couple different ways. We bought this. I was going through an antique fair in Europe. I'm trying to remember whether it was Austria or Germany. I'd have to look it up offhand. And I saw this and it was really dirty. And I thought, I can clean this up. It looks really good. And then when I did, the hallmarks were on the back. And it's got the hallmark AIM, which is a hallmark for Kostroma. This was used in 1880 to 1890. It's also got the Russian assay mark of 84 Zoll, which comes out to be 0.875 out of 1,000 silver. So not quite sterling, but right up there. And believe it or not, and you can't see it, in the center of the bowl, there is a very tiny little dot. Well, there's actually two of them. There are two separate hallmarks, so tiny that you almost need a microscope. And when I'm saying microscope, I use a microscope to get all those detail views. So besides looking at things with a loupe to be able to identify them when I'm out and about, this one, I had to go to a couple hundred power in order to be able to see what it was. But this is really beautiful, really pretty piece. So if you're looking to have a little extra fun while you're doing your tea, and let's see, one more item, just one last one here. And maybe we don't have time. I'm not sure how much time Belinda has. Are we okay time-wise?
I'm getting asked questions. Could I show the medals? So.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and leave you then. I'm going to stop sharing and get back so that Belinda can come back. And I thank you for listening. And if you have any other questions, obviously I'll be here at the very end. And I guess there's chat room and we'll be able to email and whatever. So, okay, thank you for listening.
Okay, so my next item on our choreographed plan here was to take you back to the website and show you some how to manipulate through our website. And I'll just talk you through because you saw samples from Bill, and then I'm getting chat questions. Can I show some of the medals? And so I think that's more important than how to use the website. But on the website, the only thing that you really haven't seen from our brief little tour here is there's a section there also on just artisan made jewelry that is not bobbin lace, but it's all handmade. And most of it, to be honest with you, are samples that I've made for my classes that I teach, so that my students have a sample, and they're over there. And if that intrigues you, it's handmade jewelry. The tricky part of our website, and I don't know that tricky is the right word, but just to be aware of, if you want to purchase a class, you want to sign up for a class, or you want to purchase a kit, if you scroll down through the description, like Bill showed you on that you get choices, make sure you click on that, because I'm not sure that always jumps out at you. So There'll be a box that you click on, and it will show you the dates that I currently have classes scheduled coming up. And then if those dates don't work for you, email me, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about scheduling time and a class that others might also want to attend, that it's a time that's convenient for you. Likewise, if you order a kit, do the drop down and get the medal that you want. So they're not just in one medal. And I've got a couple of you asking, can we see the different medals? So let me, I unfortunately didn't bring all of them down here, but let me just tell you sort of what I have. This is silver plated, and I really defy you to tell the difference between the silver plated and the silver when you're just looking at them. So but it is plated. It's not sterling. This is sterling. This is copper, and copper is really, really big now in the jewelry world. So, and it's when you purchase my kit, it's the least expensive of the kits. This is titanium plated, both of these pieces.
I like the titanium.
Yeah, a lot of people like the titanium. So it's a lot like the silver, but it doesn't tarnish. It sort of has its own tarnish on it. It's darker. So if you like the silver look, titanium is good. And titanium's a little stronger metal. The gold that I have here, this is jeweler's brass, and it's got a different type of gold, and this is bronze. And I don't know if Zoom is showing you enough of the difference in the color, but I've had people ask me on the bronze. The jeweler's brass is nice, but the bronze is really luxurious. And I've had people ask, is that gold? And no, not, but it's a really nice, and it's a nice metal to work with. It's a little harder than some of the others. So I truly, truly recommend, if you're new to working with wire, that you start with I would start with the copper. And quite honestly, because the kits in the copper are like $35, $45, I would buy the copper. And then if you make it and love it, I can give you resources to order gallons and miles of whatever other metal you want, or you can come back to me and order the metal, but you can use the kit over and over again. And the copper is the easiest to work with. So I should probably go back so I'm on screen while I'm talking to you, but it will not be frustrating. Now, if you've worked with wire before, any of them will work. The only one that I curse at, you don't want to be around me, is when I work in stainless steel. And stainless steel truly has a mind of its own. So I can weave with it and get it the way I want it. And I look at it 2 seconds later and it's decided it's going to go someplace else on me. So I would not go with stainless steel.
Somebody was asking if the wires were coated and if they tarnish or whatever. I think the only coated wire is the black one, because that is an enamel.
Right.
Everything else is uncoated. So
everything else is going to develop its own natural patina.
It'll end up, and actually when it comes to antiques, one of the things that I found is, for example, you have an old antique item made out of silver. If somebody dunks it in one of these baths or polishes the heck out of it and takes everything off of it, you actually devalue the piece by about 50%. Silverware comes from the manufacturer with a patina that's already on it, because that patina fills all the little nooks and crannies, and it really makes all the little nooks and crannies show better. So yeah, but if you've got silver, it's going to naturally tarnish. And I think the one thing, when it comes to the silver kits, the small wire inside is 0.99. It's almost pure silver, but the outside is sterling, right?
The inside is fine silver.
Yeah.
And the outside is sterling. And Elisa is asking, she says on the website, it doesn't have the price for the titanium. No, it doesn't. But it's priced at the same as the silver plated. So whatever kit, just let me know and I'll get in there and change it and add the titanium to the kits. For a while, I was out of the titanium, and with the supply chain problems we've had this past year, I didn't want to promise something I
I
couldn't.
think we're gonna have to look at some of the even prices for, because the metals industry is, things are changing. So it's like people are stealing copper out of houses. It's the prices of copper is going up. The price of silver, titanium. I like titanium because I came, I did 10 years in the aerospace industry. I think it's a fantastic metal, but I'm not sure what the price is right now. So
Okay, so Barbara says she just went to the website and she tried to order the earrings and it did not process the discount. If you want earrings, email me today and let me know. Don't go through the website, just, we'll work it out. So I got work to do on the website, obviously. And we're getting close to the end. So do we have any other questions that either Bill can answer or I can answer? You all have been delightful. This will be on YouTube. And the next item coming up on the UNCON schedule is 4:30, the regional meeting for USA Central. And then at 5, you do not want to miss Ali Margucio's table talk. It will be wonderful. And we're supposed to, for those of you that are interested, now I don't want to make any false promises, but we had, some of you did not get into this morning's because our count maxed out. So Kathy Lowe, who's hosting it, scurried around with Zoom and is extending her account so that we can get up to 500 people in there. So we're supposed to be able to accommodate you. Now, if Zoom got it fast enough, but just on the safe side, if you want to hear Ali, I would get in early. So in case that it didn't kick in. And thank you so much for spending time with us. If you want to see this again, look at YouTube posting tomorrow, it'll be up. And if you have questions, email me directly and I'll be happy to answer them for you. See you around.
bye-bye.
Have a great week this week at UNCON.